All right, so this says a new roller coaster is being designed with a starting hill modeled by this function where x represents the horizontal length of the starting hill in feet, so that's here, and y represents the vertical height of the starting hill in feet. What is the vertex of the parabola and what is its meaning? So this is a quadratic function. Quadratic functions graph as parabolas, like you can see here. Um, it's an so it's like an upside down U, and that's because this value in front of the x squared is negative. So if it was positive, then it would be a parabola opening upwards like that. Okay, just you don't need to know that, but just a little background information for you. So they're asking us about the vertex. The vertex is this point right here, and they're wanting us to find the coordinates of the vertex. So let me just point this out. You don't really need to know this for this question, but there's a line here, imaginary line, that splits the parabola in half and makes it symmetrical. So the left side and the right side are symmetrical. This is called the axis of symmetry. All right. The location of the axis of symmetry is the x coordinate of the vertex. So the vertex has a set of coordinates, x and y. That is a really terrible axe. Sorry about that. So the vertex can be identified as x, y, and they're asking us to find these values of x and y. All right, so there's a trick to find the vertex. First, let's look at what the standard form of a quadratic is. So a quadratic looks like y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. And so the equation we were given was f of x, so it's in function notation, same thing as y, and then negative 3x squared plus 42x. And then there was nothing for the c, so the c value here is really 0, right? There's just no c value. So the trick for finding the x coordinate of the vertex, which is also the location of the axis of symmetry, there's a formula that says x equals, and this is something you'll want to memorize, x equals negative b over 2 times a. And so here's my a value, that's the negative 3. 42 is my b value, and so I'm just going to simply plug those in. So I plug in negative b, so b is 42, so that would be negative 42, so it's really the opposite of b. And then over 2 times the a value, which is negative 3. And so that gives me negative 42 over negative 6, which simplifies to 7. So the x coordinate of the vertex is 7. Now, really, if you look at the answers, you don't have to do anything else. You don't need to find the y value, because for answer A and B, the x value of the vertex is 0. So that's not right. We know the x value is 7. And then if we look at C and D, it has the same vertex coordinates. So that y comes out to 147. So when we get done, I'll show you how to find the y value just so you know, but you don't need to do it here because those answers have the exact same y value. So we know that's it. So answer C says the vertex is at 7, 147, which means that it will take 147 feet of track to build the hill. And then D says it means that the highest point of the hill is 147 feet from the ground. Well, if we just look at the graph and look at the vertex here, that 147 corresponds with this, the y value, and the y value, it says, represents the vertical height of the starting hill. So D makes the most sense. It is the highest point of the hill, and that matches up with the graph. So there you go. Now, if I told you I'd show you how to find the y value, so stick around if you want to see how to find that 147. To find that, what we're going to do is take this x value and we're going to plug it into the function for x, and then we're going to solve that, simplify it, and that'll give us the f of x, which is the y value. So I'll do that for you real quick. We're going to take f of x, which is the same thing as y, I could have just written y, equals -3. And again, I'm going to take this 7 and I'm going to plug that in for the x. So I have 7 squared plus 42 times 7. So I'm replacing the x with 7. I don't need to put the plus 0. So I start simplifying this. Now I have -3 times 49. And then plus 42 times 7. So let's see, that's 28, 14. Oh gosh, I should use my calculator. Sorry, I'm going to use my calculator. I'm going to cheat. So 42 times 7. I thought I could do it in my head, and I could, but I don't want to be wrong. It's 294. So that's 294. And then the -3 times 49. So that's 150 minus 3. That's -147. So -1. That one I actually did do in my head. I know, you're impressed. So I did 3 times 50 is 150, and then it's 1 less than 50, so I subtracted 3. That's how I got that. Not that you care. And then I wrote an equal sign and not a plus sign. Hopefully you didn't hang around for this. Sorry, I'm not doing very well. So -147 plus 294, add those together, and you get 147. And so that's how you can find the y value. All right, so hopefully that helped you out. Sorry about me having to use a calculator. I know, it's sad. But keep working hard, and you will master the math.